having fun while you're young is the biggest scam and the biggest lie that we've been told by our parents, by society, and by our friends. So guys, fun, excitement, novelty, doing things spontaneously, going on trips, going out to bars, going out to clubs, going to movies, going to the mall, going to house parties, doing all these things, right? This is setting you up for failure. These things right now that society is telling you to engulf yourself in, to immerse yourself in, is setting you up for a completely mediocre and poor existence, right? So I have this woman I work with. She's in her like 50s. She's like 52. I actually have two women who work at my gas station. They're like in their 50s. And one of them, you know, she's a good worker. She's on time. She does her job. But she makes like $14 an hour. And she tells me all the time that she lives paycheck to paycheck. So she's not making enough money to pay her bill, like have enough money to save. So, you know, I was like, hey, like, what do you think about a retirement plan or a 401k? Do you have any like savings? Are you able to get benefits? And she just told me today that like she can't even afford like medical, like health insurance. She can't even like have that covered from the company because she doesn't have enough. It all has to go to her bills. And hearing that today was like it made me realize, like it really what's the word? It kind of like reconfirmed like why I go so hard and why I like work so hard, why I work extra hours, why like I'm so consistent on here, why I'm like just really like trying to lock in and like invest my money properly and do the right things. Because I fear, on a deep level, I fear that. That's the nightmare. That's like hell. You know, Christians say the worst thing that can happen to you is you go to hell. Well, you know what hell to me is? And I'm sure it sounds like hell to a lot of you guys. Hell is knowing that for the next, like, think about it, right? She's 50, right? So she's making, there's no chance for her really, unless she like, it's like the fourth quarter and there's like 2 minutes left and the score is like 20 to like 3. So like the likelihood of her like turning it around and like winning and like being able to retire is so slim that it's like, wow. Think about it, right? She's 51, so she's halfway through her life already. Think about it, right? She's gonna have to work basically till she dies, right? And that's sad. That makes me sad because, you know, she's got a kid, she has a child, and she has grandkids. And it's like, wow, like there's gonna be times where she's gonna miss out on so many things for her family because she has to work. And, you know, I feel bad, but at the same time, you know, I ask myself like, damn, what happened? What were you doing? You know, like, what were you doing for all those years? You know, I didn't ask her that because I don't want to be mean or anything. But in my head, I'm like, is this really like what it comes down to? You're 51 and you're making $14 an hour. You're at the lowest paid position, one of the lowest paid positions in all of the labor force, right? With all the jobs and all the opportunity, you're working at the lowest paid position. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, at 51, like, you know, and then it's like every week, every month, she doesn't have enough to save money. She can't contribute to a retirement plan. It's like, that's depressing. That's sad. That's eternal hell, having to do that. That's to me what eternal damnation looks like in a earthly manner, right? So guys, like when people say to you, you know, work hard when you're young so you can live the life you want and enjoy all the nice things and have, you know, a lot of options with women and have a good network. Yes, that's true. But guys, a lot of the times what's going to motivate you to really work hard, and what motivates me to work hard, is seeing the pain, seeing the despair that comes from wasting the first 10 to 15 years of your 20s and your early 30s. Like, that is what really scares me, right? And I don't like to live in fear, but I'm going to be honest with you and transparent. A lot of what motivates me, guys, is more so like the pain of what could happen if I don't work hard, right? And that's like, you know, paycheck to paycheck, constantly. Think about it, right? Imagine knowing that from 50 to 80 for the next 30 years, you're gonna have to stress every week about not having enough money and not knowing if you're gonna make it to the end of the month. That is depressing. That is scary. That should make you like want to jump up and get to work and get really busy making things happen, right? So guys, when people say, oh, have fun when you're young, you know, go out, do this, do that, go experience life. Yes, you should experience life. I'm not saying to be a complete rock, but guys, at least for the first decade of your 20, you know, basically like, let's say like 18 to 30, right? Work 2 jobs, learn a skill, learn how to invest, learn how to budget, right? And I promise you, if you do that for like 10 years, man, things are going to start to come together for you. And when you're 30, instead of, you know, having to constantly worrying about being paycheck to paycheck or just starting out your career, you're already ahead of everybody. And you're even ahead of the people that are in their 40s and 50s who are still working, right? Because even those people that are in their 40s and 50s, you know, who are making good money, you know, let's say they're corporate executives or they have a high-end skill. Let's say they're making $150,000 a year, right? Yeah, that's great and all, but you still have to work, and you still bought things that kept you trapped. You still bought a house you couldn't afford. You still buy a new car every 2 years, right? You still had a lot of kids that you couldn't afford at the time that you have to pay for now, right? So a lot of people make stupid decisions when they're young, and the best decision you can make when you're young is to work hard, work 2 jobs if you have to, learn a trade, learn a skill, and then invest your money, invest the difference. When you have extra money at the end of the month, invest the difference, whether that's to continue to learn more or to invest in assets. But whatever it is, guys, you have to get on that purpose, get on those goals. You have to get towards your moving towards your goals at an early age. You have to set goals and set them young and work when you're young. I mean, you guys know it's a given. It's, you know, people repeat it all the time, but when you're in your 20s, right, that's when you have the most energy. And yeah, it's true. But guys, like I said, I think the biggest thing that makes me really like believe that whole thing is a lie is when I see people that are in their 50s and 60s, you know, having to work super hard just to survive, right? And they're gonna have to do that till they're in their 90s, right? If they're still alive. So guys, it really bears repeating, but you know, I know a lot of YouTubers say it, but guys, your 20s are really your time to sit there and really like work extremely hard, like push it like 80 hours a week, man. Like it goes that, like it can go that extreme, right? Because when you go to that extreme, that's when you really are going to start to see the results later on. And I'm starting to see those results now, right? With my investments, my assets, right? Because I've been working, you know, I've had a job since I was 16. So I've been saving my money, investing the difference and doing all this, you know, all of these things for the past 8 years. So it's starting to really pay off. And, you know, I think if you guys really start to get on that train, it'll pay off for you as well. You know, and to close out, I just, you know, I think a lot of people, when they say you have fun, it implies like, or when you're like working hard and you're like, you know, sacrificing your 20s, people like, there's no like, it's people say you're gonna miss out, like there's a fear of missing out. But you want to know what's funny? And when they mean, like when guys mean that, it's like they typically mean like they're gonna miss out on dating and having fun and the opportunity to get laid or have a girlfriend. And it's like, you think about it, right? Let's say you're 18, you know, you spend 18 to like 26 or 27 just going out every weekend. You're working low wage. You're not investing your money. You're not working on developing skills. No woman's gonna want you anyway, so it's not fun. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, there's no such thing as having fun when you're young. I mean, yeah, you can enjoy an experience, but like when we talk about fun, a lot of guys talk about like getting women to like you and going on dates. That's what we kind of imply, you know, because a lot of, you know, YouTubers and red pillars are like, yeah, when you're 30 and this and that, and you can go out and hit on women and get your own section and women are going to want to sleep with you and this and that. But it's like, when you're young, why even waste time? Because it's like, yo, you're not even attractive. you know, you might look good, but it's like, hey man, you most likely don't have a house, you don't have a lot of money, right? You don't have a stable job, you're not really high in you're not high positioned in your career yet. So it's like there's no point. Like, I think about it, I'm like, damn, like there's been times over the past few years I'm like, yo, like I really don't go out, and it kind of sucks sometimes. Like, you know, there's days where it's like, hey, like I'm alone, I'm by myself. But then I remember, like, wait a minute, if I go out, it's not gonna be fruitful. Like, there's no, like, if I want to go meet girls or have success with, you know, women or whatever, it's like, what's the point? Because it's like, I'm not saying I'm not attractive, like I think I look good, but like they're looking for guys that are older, that really have their shit together. So it's like, why am I even gonna try to, it's like I'm fighting an uphill battle, and it's like, that's not fun. Like, think about it, right? Imagine you're a guy, right? You're like, let's say you're 22, you're not making a lot of money, you look decent, you have decent fashion, but girls still don't want you, and you're going to the club every week, every weekend. You know, let's say you go Friday, Saturday, you're going twice a week, and you're getting rejected, right? And you're on dating apps, and you're doing this and you're doing that. That's supposedly what fun is, right? That's what we label as fun. Or you're in college and you're going to parties and shit, but you're still not getting laid. That's not fun. That's not fun, man. Like, sitting there getting rejected over and over again, and then at the same time, you know, you're not focused on making money, or you're not focused on your goals. That's not fun. But I can tell you this, there's a sense of joy, and there's a sense of like adventure and excitement that comes from working extremely hard and going and pushing your limits, right? That feeling when you just worked like 16 hours, yeah, you might be tired, but it's like, hey man, I did everything I could. I know Kobe Bryant, I forget what interview it was, but he said, he was like, I never wanted to, like, I always do the most, like I always work the hardest, or I always push it to the limits, because I never want to look back when my career's over and wish I could have done, I wish I could have did more. And that's the mindset you should have. Like, you should look at your life, you know, when you retire, when you're in your 40s or 50s, you should look back and be like, yeah, for those first 10, 20 years, I really like squeezed the juice out of my youth and squeezed the juice out of my work capacity, and I don't regret it. You don't want to look back like, damn, like I wasted a lot of time, you know, with stupid people making stupid decisions, or wasting my time getting rejected by females, right? That's stupid. That's a waste. That's a waste, and that's what leads to the crippling poverty that you might experience when you get older, if you don't get your shit together now. Because like I said, when you get, you know, let's say you get a girl pregnant, or you start a family and you're in your 30s, it's not going to be easier. Guys, life never, like the older I get, year by year, life never gets easier. I'm always forced to level up, and when I'm forced to level up, and when you're forced to level up, there's always going to be things you have to learn, and things and ways you're going to have to adapt, and it's going to force you to grow. So life's never going to get easier. So you sitting there having fun and putting off your grind and putting off your goals till you're older, which most fucking stupid boomer parents push towards their children, that's a recipe for disaster, and that's not going to lead you anywhere. That's going to lead to poverty, depression, anxiety, and shit, maybe even suicide, depending on how bad your life might look, you know, when you're older. So yeah, guys, it's starting to rain here, so I'm going to close this out, but I think you guys get the message. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. If you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down below, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.